you guys to do now. So welcome. Say hi to two people you don't know if you're online. Hi. We modeled the behavior you want to see. While you're up saying hi, let's ask some
Oh, good. That's good. That's center console. Oh, get out of here. How are you?
Welcome. Sign for breakfast, sign for seat, sign for friends.
Not like that. Good. Not like that.
All right. Awesome. Welcome to team meeting for burritos, biscuits, and bowls. So we've got a lot in store for you today, but let's start with our vendor guide. Who is here from our vendor program? Stand up. We'll start with Christina and work our way back and around.
Hi, I'm Christina Ferrante. I'm a senior mortgage banker with 417 Home Loans.
Lady for life.
Hashtag.
I was like, where's the rest of it?
Jess Bowman Insurance Group. We are here for all things insurance, and we just really appreciate you guys.
Awesome. I saw some others.
George Brockman with the Chosa Home Warranty, where we give your clients or choose.
To choose. Is that it? That was fast. Nicole, what do you got about vendor guides upstairs?
Yeah, so our 2024 vendor guide and program has been sent out to anyone that I have received this past year. Any of our current vendors have received it. So we are working on building our 2024 vendor program right now. So if you know of anybody that you feel like would be amazing and needs to be in our vendor program, go ahead and reach out to me. I just need their email and I'll send them the information, and I am willing to meet with anybody that has questions about it or needs any help with it. So let's build our vendor program so that we have an awesome 2024.
Awesome. Thank you, Nicole. Appreciate it. She's my co-host from the sky, in case you were curious. And no, I'm not Mike Brown. Okay, so our MVBBP today is beliefs. So Mike said, pick which one you like. And the one I always go to is integrity, do the right thing. I know we talk about it a lot, but it is one of my core values is do the right thing when nobody is looking. Can I get a yes? Yes. All right, there we go. Mission Moment, Steffes Award. Last week we had EA Group, and they did something really cool and put together a little video for us for this week's winner.
Hey everybody, Evan and Austin here, and we just wanted to extend our gratitude towards folks that have given us the Culture Award, the Ron Steffes Award. That was really awesome to receive that. And we want to extend it to a person that's really helped us here recently, and that's Carrie Tennis. And Carrie is a commercial agent here in the Market Center. She just jumped right in and helped us on one of our listings, and just really went above and beyond, and met timelines and all those kinds of things. It was great. So I just really grateful for her just jumping in and making some things happen for our clients. So kudos to Carrie Tennis. So Austin, I mean, any words? So this is like going to the Market Center? Whatever. You just want to say, great job, Carrie Tennis.
Awesome. And I believe she brought special treats today too, did you not?
I did. I brought a bunch of cookies, so I didn't have to eat them.
I
Hey
love
everybody,
it.
Evan and Austin here, and
This
We
was,
just wanted to,
I just want to say it again. No big deal. Don't worry. There we go. All right. Carrie, I will get your trophy to you afterwards and your little Army desk guy after team meeting today.
hey, everybody, is Evan.
Hey, okay. Broker moment. Do I have one of my brokers in the room? No? Okay. Do the right thing. Don't get them involved if you don't have to. How about that? All right. How's the market? How you guys feel? Feel like it's up? You feel like it's down? You feel like it's what?
All the above.
All the above? A little bit crazy? Well, last week we had 19 homes that went pending in a day or less. This week we got 23. New listings on the market, we went from 373 to 380. New contracts, 252 to 227, so a little bit down there. It is what it is, right? What's Gary Keller say? Ignore what's going on, do the activities. So that's what we say in group coaching all the time, right, Sarah? Awesome. Okay. So as far as GSBR active listings right now, we are at 1441, up from last week of 1408. And this was interesting, the absorption rate. So we are just under 3 months of active inventory, right? Well, I know, right? Where's my yes? All right. So does anybody remember how many months we need to have a balanced market? 6. And do you see where we are today? 3. So are we in a buyer's market or a seller's market? Sellers. That's right. All right, cool. That was your lesson for the day. Realtor Weekly, you guys get these in your inbox every week. There's a few that we're gonna hit on. YPN is doing Rum and Reels, social media marketing and good spirits on October 19th at 10:30 a.m. with Kate Wilson. Fall Appraiser Panel is gonna be Wednesday, October 25th. It's a lunch and learn, which is fantastic. And the GSBOR holiday party and officer installation, guys, November 30th. November. So get your tickets. They're $25 each. Nicole, anything additional on any of those things?
Nope, you got it.
Being added as the president, so we should all get tickets.
Yeah, Mike is being added, so it's kind of a big deal. All right, so we are here today. Today is going to be biscuits, burritos, and bold. So that's very exciting. Next week, Nicole, what do we got going on here?
Yeah, so we still do have some spots left at Business Planning Clinic. So I did just post pretty much every single link you ever need for the whole month. So please make sure that you get registered for Business Planning Clinic, few spots left. We do also have free flu shots next week. You do need to sign up for that just to make sure that we have enough people here to go ahead and, give you guys your flu shots. So highly recommend that. Then we have our Business Planning Clinic follow-up. So we are starting to make sure that you are continuing the habits that you're learning at these awesome trainings that we bring. So making sure that you have your action items, that you're following up with them and you're holding yourself accountable. So that is going to be our follow-up for next week. So you can come and talk about what you're going to use for next year. Free headshots are back this month. And then at the very end of the month, we do have our Halloween chili cook-off and our regional, the Greater Heartland Summit. Remember, mini mega camp. So
Yep, we're going to talk about that again later.
Yes, we are. So there's all of your links, but just make sure that you get registered for everything. It's a busy October, but it's all to make you guys better.
That's fantastic. Thank you, Nicole. Appreciate that. Something she said that I want to hit on just again, how many times do we go to a training and then we're like, that was so great. I'm going to take my materials and put them in my bookshelf and then I don't look at them again. Don't do that. Okay. So what we're going to do is start bringing it back a week later. We're going to do some follow-up, some ahas, just like we're going to do today with Bold. All right, save the dates. This is today, the Bold Breakfast. And then next week, we've got your KW agent websites. Nicole, are you leading that one next week?
I am not. Actually, we have somebody even smarter than me. Not saying that I'm smart, but we actually, I think we have Tim Beverlin, who, yes. So at the very beginning of the year, he partnered with Marty Miller. If you know Marty Miller, they did a 30-60-90 for technology. So he is actually going to be our special guest next month or next week for talking about KW agent websites.
That's really cool. If you, yes.
Sorry.
Yes, ask the questions, please.
We are not supposed to go to this one. Is that right, Nicole?
I'm confused by the question.
Didn't you say to wait if we're on a team for more training to come later?
Team websites have not launched. However, you can get your Rainmaker sites up and running because on November 15th, they will automatically upgrade to the new sites.
So yes, come please. Awesome. All right, so business planning clinic tomorrow, just a couple spots left. Highly encourage you to go if you haven't signed up already. There's the QR code, and I believe the links are in here as well. Greater Heartland Summit, it's like a mini mega camp, except you don't have to go all the way to Texas. You just get to go to Branson. There's gonna be quite the lineup. Mike's got all this in here, and I'm sure you're seeing it in your emails. But this is gonna be a really great opportunity. The cost is $249, and we're gonna have some mega awesome guests there today or then. And then don't forget family reunions coming up. You can still register now. Las Vegas. What happens there stays there, except for what you learn. Bring it back, please. Okay, tech time with Nicole.
Yeah, so more KW agent websites. So those are live. They have been live for a couple weeks now. I did teach a class on it last week, and I know Scott Leroy is also teaching on it as well. I usually talk about him a lot. He's got a whole YouTube page. It is very simple to upgrade your website. So if you want to just meet one-on-one with me, if you feel like you need a little bit of extra help, reach out. I'm happy to meet with you. But there is a step-by-step guide to get you guys started. So they're really awesome, great features, including blogs, featured listings, including your own listings, plus other listings that are in the area or similar to your listings. We've got higher search quality, everything. So I love it. It looks really great. A little bit more customization. So if you want help with it, let me know.
Excellent. And I've heard nothing but good things about the class you taught. So thank you. Okay, that was my speed round. I would like to have my guests come up here that I've invited. So Sarah, Adelie, Bethany, Colton, Jesse, come on up, find your seat.
I know, I just didn't know you meant me.
Up here, Sarah. All right. Who are we?
Oh, this is where I want to be. I just wanted to offer up this one.
Oh, no,
One of the armrests.
I want the armrest, is right.
I wanted matching chairs, but we didn't have them. So I've invited a couple different grouping of people up here from different production levels and different areas, different experiences. And let's start with you, Jesse. Tell me just who you are, how long you've been in the business, and just a little bit about you.
Jesse Fisher, one half of the Fisher team leadership, licensed for 19 years this month in North Carolina. I'll hit 2 years in Missouri in February, but just, small little team. We're like the little engine that could, we say.
Awesome. And how many times have you been to Bold?
This was my first Bold experience.
First Boldy.
And I'll add to it, it was my first major course that I've taken in 19 years.
Wow, we're gonna get back to that in a second. All right, Mr. Colton.
Colton Mose, listing agent with the Grady team, 5th year doing that, 4th time doing Bold.
Excellent. Adelie.
Adelie Schmidt on the Market Sold Homes team. I've been licensed for 10 months, and this was my first Bold.
Yeah, awesome.
Bethany Markle, and I am with Riley Real Estate, Elise Riley, and I am her admin, and this is my first Bold, and I'm a licensed agent.
And Sarah Tinajero, so I've been licensed for 7 years, and it's my 4th Bold.
Excellent. So would you agree we have a plethora of people here? Okay, good. We did good. Yay. All right. So I have given you guys some of these questions ahead of time. I am just going to throw a question out, and we're going to get 1 or 2 of you guys to pipe up. And if you're not talking, I'm going to call you out because that's what I do. All right. So my first question that I was thinking of is, what is your Bold law of choice? What does it mean to you, and how does it motivate you? Who wants this one first?
I can go.
All right.
Mine was the same coming into it as, being done with it, but it's your business grows to the extent that you do. So it's just kind of a life thing for me. I try to read or podcast 10 hours a week. I don't always get it right. We're all busy, but and that's from everything from investments to just retirement or whatever, but I always try to grow myself. And I think that's a very true statement. So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I would say mine was change the way you look at things and the things you look at change. I think your mindset is a huge part of your success, and you have a choice every single day to look at things in a positive way or a negative way. And I truly believe that affects me on a daily basis. So I always keep that top of mind, just that I have a choice for how I'm going to approach and look at things.
Absolutely. Anybody else have one that's just like,
Mine's very similar to hers, is like, we feed off of other people's, attitudes. And so like, if we can just like move forward on things and make them like learning experiences, I, had put like, there's quite a few that kind of go along those lines, like, there's no try, don't listen to your limiting mindset. All those like kind of go with my mindset. And, I loved, like, part of it was like shifting your brain to say, I have to, I get to do that.
Yeah.
that changes quite a bit for the way your outlook. Yeah, awesome. Anybody else?
I chose fear or faith, you choose. I tend to be the type of person that will avoid doing things that I might fail at.
Never heard
I
that
know it's
before.
one of my biggest weaknesses. So I think that one stands out to me because I have to rely on faith in myself and my skill set and mindset, action, all of it, and just proceed forward and just, fail forward, as we say.
We could round it out, like,
Yeah.
so. Reasons or results, you can have both. And, I've given myself reasons why I couldn't or shouldn't do something. And the truth is, when you just do the thing, you get the results, and stop having those excuses, those reasons why, and just do the stuff.
I love that. Good stuff, guys. Okay, anybody who wants this one, what's your definition of pain versus pleasure? Something we hit on quite a bit in Bold. Jesse, what do you got? She's giggling.
So for me, the big sticking point with that is the longer I avoid something and procrastinate on it, the more painful it is in the long run. And so I'm a big fan of just rip the Band-Aid off kind of mantra of life and just knock that stuff out, because otherwise it just gets worse.
So, can you think of a time when you missed an opportunity because you chose the
absolutely.
pain first?
I'm sure there are probably dozens throughout my career where if I had just picked up the phone or done the thing, I would have kept it together or won the client or whatnot. So, lots of lessons learned.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like that goes along with mindset too. You might have momentary pain, and that's what you're focusing on because your mindset sees the pain. But is the loss greater than what the gain could be if you were willing to push through that pain?
Which pain is worse?
You choose your pain,
Mhm.
right? So it's like, today's October 10th. I either choose the pain of getting rejected on the phone and getting my contacts in, or I choose the pain of having a terrible December 10th and not having closings. So just focus on the pain. Which pain do you want?
Yeah,
Yep.
choose your heart.
I'll choose to lead gen.
Yeah.
I'll choose to do open houses when I could be napping, right? There you go.
I don't know what napping is, but that sounds
You have little kids, you don't nap.
Well, I have a wife too, so I do nap.
Sometimes like pain can be the most, like bring out the most rewarding thing. And so like, we just have to change our mindset and be like, think about the negative things, like painful conversations. We're all adults, but we have to have them. Nobody likes to have them that I know of. And so, but they can be such a win on the other end, and you have to look at that, like what it can be, the positive outcome.
Absolutely. All right, let's talk journal entries. As many of you guys know, in Bold, you have to do daily journal entries. Tell me a little bit about that. Pain or pleasure, right? Same thing?
It's a habit, honestly. It sounds nerdy, but Carrie Warsh on our team kind of got me into that. Like I journal every day, whether I'm in Bold or not. And it's more of like, I freaking hate the word manifestation, and that is my least favorite word in the world, but it's putting energy out there, right? It's putting your dreams out there. It gets you one step closer. If you want to say manifestation, don't even talk to me, because let's just see, you're not doing the work. You're just thinking that it's
Just
going to
thinking
happen.
it's gonna happen.
But I mean, you put something out there and you get one step closer. So
Okay.
I love the word manifestation.
action is the word it needs to be.
Yeah, but you can have the action, but if your mindset's not there, you're not gonna be fully doing the action. Your heart has to be there, your mind has to be there. You can go through the motions, but there's more to it than just going through the motions. So I think journaling was a good way to just self-reflect each day on the good and bad things, just to get it down on paper sometimes too. I think there's a lot of things that you go through on a daily basis or you think that you wouldn't actually take the time to reflect on if you didn't physically see it in front of you. So sometimes writing that down on paper just really helps you be like, okay, wow, okay, I did go through that today. It's okay, it's done. But I think manifestation is a great thing. I think you have to have the mindset and the heart there before you can do the action.
But you gotta do both.
But you gotta do both.
But you gotta do both.
I had a hard time at first, like,
Yeah.
because there's one side that says what I learned and what I did good. Is
Uh-huh.
that right? Yeah. And it was like, my limiting belief is that, like, what am I, like, I can't talk very good about myself. Like, so, like, I'm probably my biggest critic. And so, like, writing it at first, it was very hard to find those good things that, like, I did well in. And then not overthink it, because those little, like, successes are big picture items a lot of the time. So, and it got easier over time. And now mine is more of like gratitude journaling.
Yeah.
Like
Absolutely.
versus what I did good and what I learned.
Awesome. So by the act of doing the journaling, did you learn something about yourself? Jessie? She's like,
I
this is
don't
not my
love
question.
journaling.
She's getting really quiet, so the mic on her.
I am with Bethany, like I could grateful journal all day long, but to actually call myself out on things, it's not my favorite. I'll do it, in my brain. But just putting it down on paper is just a little more serious, so.
I get that.
But I did like having to list out a win, at least one. I am also my own worst critic, and so the act of congratulating myself on getting something done was helpful.
This is a theme I'm hearing with many of you guys, and you gotta think what Jordan Fried says about, are you your inner coach or are you inner critic, right? And would you talk to the person you love most the way you talk to yourself? And I think that's a huge shift when we talk about the mindset shift that comes along with BOLD. So we're getting better though, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Way better.
Sarah,
Yes.
what does accountability mean to you? And tell me about that relationship you have with it.
So to me, accountability is not just with some other person that maybe helps to hold you accountable, like you do for me a lot of times. It's also with yourself, saying, I've made a commitment to myself, and like you're talking about with how would you treat somebody else? I wouldn't break that commitment with somebody that I cared about. Why would I break that commitment with myself? And that's a challenge because I've done it, I'll admit, many times that I've not held myself accountable, and I need to. And doing it this year, and especially with BOLD, it's been really rewarding.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good thing.
Fantastic. How about you, Colton?
Accountability is just, I guess, huge on our team. So it's another thing that I already have to do. I have to report my numbers every
Get to
single
do.
day to our.
Get to do or have to do?
I get to report my numbers
Yeah.
every single day, even when they're bad, to our team, but we have our standards and we're held accountable and, and so just reporting to an accountability partner with BOLD wasn't anything different. It's just copy and paste basically, right?
So you were already in the habit of doing it,
Mhm.
but do you find value in that?
Oh, yeah, 100%, everything. Like some of us right now are training for a team marathon on the Grady team, and we have a separate text thread just for that, right? And we do our accountability just on what we've ran today. And so all areas of life, accountability is huge, and it's gonna drive you right to the next step, and it gets you to do things you wouldn't normally do.
Absolutely, absolutely. They say that talent thrives in accountability and non-talent looks at it as micromanagement. Do you guys agree or disagree with that?
Agree.
Yeah, that's good stuff.
That's really good.
I don't know where I heard it, probably
Should
Dan
put that
Holt.
on the note sheet.
I should. All right. So we talked about business to business relationships during BOLD. Tell me about this practice and how it pushes your business forward. Anybody practicing with the business to business relationship?
I don't wanna hog the whole time.
Well,
Bethany's got
Yeah,
something.
Go ahead.
No, I had a hard time. I was like, when did we talk about this? And I will be honest, I did miss a half a day, so it could have been, but I just took it upon myself to think about what that meant. And one of the things that I found was like reaching out to some old employees. I worked for a property management company for 15 years, and forgive me if I'm wrong on this business to business.
I like where you're going. Keep going.
But like just picking up that phone was hard for me, but it's easier now because I always used to say, I'm just an admin, I'm just an admin. But I can do so much more for the business. But picking up the phone and rebuilding those relationships with those old employees have actually built us relationships to help our clients further. Like I have a pool guy now and I have another handyman and stuff. And so I can pat their back, they can pat mine. But if that's not what business is,
That's what
to
it
you.
No, that's
Is it?
absolutely
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
Good job.
That's absolutely it.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, like, building your list, right, is huge. Your vendor list, your professional go-to list, and my metrics that I have to be accountable for every day. I do 13 contacts, right, a day, and that's sphere, past client, door knocking leads, whatever, whenever people I talk to about real estate, but probably 5 to 6 of those are always people who I know they're not selling their house right now, but it's, hey, I have some of the best roofers, carpet guys, mold remediation. I know you don't want to sell till next summer, but what does your house need today that we can get it ready for next summer? I've got the phone number. Whatever it is, I've got the phone number. And that's, a good third to half of my contacts every single day. So to me, that's business to business. And then in turn, it leads to referrals and everything else. My second largest closing ever came from a referral on a business to business type deal.
Yeah, because
So-
don't you think those roofers and home warranty guys and everybody that they're out dealing with people, right? Like they're dealing with the same clientele you guys are. They're allied resources. So that makes perfect sense. Anybody else got something on the business to business?
I mean, I started doing a feature for businesses that I've worked with in the past, and it gives me a reason to call them too and say, hey, this week you're gonna be my featured business on my Facebook page, and is there anything you want me to tell my people about your business? Anything you'd like them to know? Gives me a reason to talk to them. It gives my people an outlook, and if they want my full list, then of course they can contact me, and I let people know you can get my full list of my friends that are in business that can help you. Just give me a text or whatever. So, it's been nice to talk to those people and not just be calling them to say, can you give me a free estimate on something, but
Yeah.
here's something that I'm doing. I want to bring you business, bring you more opportunities. So what can I do to help your business?
I would say too, like with your lead generation, if you do business to business lead generation, it's almost a lot easier and less nerve wracking because they're doing the same thing.
Mhm.
There's been so many times where I've gotten messages from people like, hey, I am an insurance adjuster or whatever. I'd love to have a connection with you, get together. They're wanting that same connection. So it's a lot easier to lead generate that way because it's a win-win, really. You're gonna get a good response one way or another because you both want the business. So.
Absolutely.
Carrie, did you do that bold 100 with Amy?
Yes.
That was such a good idea. While we're talking business to business. Yeah,
tell
will
us,
you
Carrie.
tell everybody what you did?
So, Amy and I, every year, try to put together a list of our preferred vendors. So we did our Bold 100 by going to Home Depot and Lowe's. And so we tried to go back and forth between the two so that one, didn't get kicked out of anywhere, and two, so that there would be a churn of customers coming through. But we didn't just talk to customers, we talked to employees, customers, vendors, anyone who was in the store, and it took us about 5 hours. We probably could have got it done early, like faster, but we had great conversations with people. But we just said this: hi, we're local realtors, but we're not here to try to sell or buy a home for you. We're here to just ask you if you have any 5-star home service providers that you would recommend that need to make our list. And some people would say, well, what do you mean by 5-star? Well, somebody that you would refer to your grandmother or your mother or your best friend. And we would say that could be anything from window washing to lawn service to roofing to plumbing. And we kind of went through a list. We got an aquarium guy. Because we never had that before. But now we have one. So it just was a really good list. And then we would say, if it was like a contractor, do you feel like you deserve to be on that list? Or if it was a painter, do you feel like you give 5-star service and deserve to be on that list? And then we had a lot of people who were like, can we get that list?
Yeah.
And so it opened up the dialogue to get that going back and forth. And we probably had, out of 100, maybe like 6 to 10 really good leads, and have had several good phone calls from just that little activity that day. So it was great.
That's fantastic. Thank you for sharing.
It's an awesome idea.
Very cool. Jesse. What's one thing that Bold helped you realize that you can do right now, this week, this month, this year?
I know I read this question and I thought about my answer. I think probably the best thing that I took out of Bold was operating on a little better structure than I had been.
Okay.
I time block on my calendar for certain tasks, but then everything else is kind of willy-nilly, I guess you could say. But being forced to get out of the house earlier on Tuesdays, fight with Brian and the boys for hot water, threaten people, bang on the bathroom door, but really like having a little bit better accountability to know I had somewhere that was no bones, had to be there, was super helpful for me, so.
So the one thing you kind of took away was that you thrive in structure and accountability, is what I'm hearing you say. Yeah, because I think you're thriving. And that you're gonna take that and make that more part of your practice of your daily
At
activities?
least for now, yes.
For now, at least for now.
I mean, till I have an empty nest. So I operate a little better, slower morning, work till 6, 7 o'clock, but that's not ideal in a family structure with boys who play sports and a husband who is 7 a.m. to 3 p.m. because he's still got a military mindset. That doesn't really work. So for now, that helps me a lot, so.
Cool.
But I think for me, one of the things that was, I have always struggled, especially when I take Bold, I've struggled making my contacts every week. And I thought, why am I doing this so wrong? And I think this time around, one of the things that I figured out was there are so many other ways to make your contacts that, Carrie and Amy inspired me with talking to people and getting out there. And so I did a lot of like networking events, neighborhood events, talking to people at church, and it was more of the face-to-face. And it was so much easier, I got 2 Bold 100s this time because it was so much more, I don't know, it felt so much smoother, so much simpler when you realize you don't just have to sit on the phone all day and call somebody and pick up the phone and dial and dial and dial. Yes, that works. Yes, you can do that. And there are other options. There are other things you can do. And for me, it worked out really well. So that was something that I was able to make my contacts every week, a lot of times in one day. It was great.
So let's
So
talk
I'm
about
good with
those
that.
100 contacts real quick. Tell me about those 100 contacts a week.
Well, what I was gonna say on that note is like, think about how many random conversations you have a day with people when you're at the store or shopping or whatever. How could you make those conversations more intentional? There's so many times I've just bumped into someone, oh, sorry, how are you? Whatever, in the store. Why didn't I just stop and be like, oh, sorry, my name's Natalie, by the way. How are you? Like, what are the conversations that we have on a daily basis that we could be more purposeful with, that we're not even thinking about, that's such an easy way to get your 100 contacts.
But it was like my aerobics class, and I just said, hey, I'm gonna be in the hot tub after class. If you guys want to talk real estate, I always love talking real estate. I got like 6
Especially in the
friends
hot
off it.
tub.
That was at the gym. It's totally normal.
It was
Whatever it takes.
It was overwhelming to me at first, but then like after the first week, I kind of broke it down and was like, you know what? It doesn't have to be just the phone, and it can be in person, and it can be different touches that I can help make that impact for the business for Elise and I. And so it got easier each week, I would say. And having purpose of those phone calls and those conversations, like the business to business kind of thing. I was riding with a friend from my son's school to a meeting, and we were talking, and she was talking about her roofs and gutters. And like, I don't know if I would have like had the type of conversation I had if I hadn't been in Bold, like just to be that resource for her. I was like, I've got this guy and he will probably come up today if you need him to, so just my personal realization is I can make a bigger impact than just doing the day-to-day administrative work in the office.
Which is also very important.
Right.
It's very important.
And my license is not to sell at this moment in life, but it's, I will gladly take referrals. So that was my beginning goal, was to build that referral network so that I can bring more financial stability to my home and to Elisa's to do great things.
That's fantastic. Did anybody else like have a hard time in the beginning with those 100 contacts a week? You're already used to it, so you're already conditioned.
It wasn't.
right?
Yeah.
Some others just, they're not, right? So Jesse, how about you?
Not particularly, so I tend to use my group texts that I'm stuck in for that sort of stuff. Like just different volunteer opportunities, like we have a senior, he's a senior, I'm sitting on project graduation and handling all of the administrative type tasks for that. So I send all the emails out to all the senior parents and stuff like that, so they all see my name multiple times a week. So, and working to make sure that the Fisher team is active in sponsoring those sort of things as well, just kind of makes it easier.
Mhm.
So.
Gotta find the thing that you're already involved in, right? And then do that more. So, okay.
I've been utilizing social media a lot more. Especially like, you guys probably use Facebook more than I do. I'm more like Instagram and stuff like that. But think about like how many.
I think she called us old friends.
You said
That's what I heard.
it. Think about how many friends you've probably, accumulated on Facebook over the years that you've never reached out to. I literally just go through my friends list and I message them just, daily. That's how I get a lot of my contacts in. And it's been super helpful. I mean, I just closed on one Friday. It was a Facebook lead. It was just a young guy, builder. I didn't even know who he was. I just randomly messaged him on Facebook and now we're doing investment properties together.
During Bold, you messaged him?
No, I've been working with him for
okay.
a couple months. Yeah, but I mean, think about even when you have posts on Facebook, people are commenting and you're just liking the comments, whatever. Why wouldn't you use that as an opportunity to start a conversation? Hey, I saw you commented on my post. How are you doing? I haven't talked to you in a while. I had one of my high school friends' parents comment on my sister's wedding post. Haven't talked to her in forever. Just called her and she's like, I was thinking about you the other day. We're getting close to retirement. We kind of talked about putting our house on the market. We want to move down to the lake. I'm like, well, I never would have known that if I didn't take the time to call you. I hadn't talked to her or her daughter since high school. So like, just utilize those conversations that are right there. I mean, those people are reaching out to you. They're liking your stuff. They're commenting on your stuff. Use that as an excuse to start a conversation with them.
I love that. I love that. Did anybody get immediate success out of their efforts from Bold?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Definition of success is different, but
Okay, success meaning maybe you put somebody in your pipeline that wasn't there before, all the way to somebody who's
Yeah.
transacting.
I definitely wouldn't have done any Bold 100s if I'm not in Bold.
Can you tell
Nobody
the
does
room
that.
what a Bold 100 is for
You
those who
talk to
don't?
100 people a day about real estate, not just saying hi,
Yeah.
right? But I did 2 of them, and I think of the 2, I got 6 referrals. They're not all immediate, but one's already listed.
Does that sound like success to y'all?
That's awesome.
I think so.
And then, with that too, I did more open houses than I would normally do. I was doing sometimes 2 on a Saturday and 2 on a Sunday. And I can think of 3 leads I've got. None of them are under contract yet, but I'm I'm not actively showing them houses. The buy side is actively showing them houses, but I'm gonna get a paycheck from that
Yes.
when they find them a property.
Yes.
Right, and those are things that, yes, I do open houses a lot, but I was doing a lot more of them during Bold, so I would say,
So your activity meter kind of went up a bit.
oh, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Cool. All right, let's switch gears briefly. Legacy. Okay, the legacy was the end of it. Tell me about this exercise and what you learned about yourself when you went through it, Jesse.
I think that for me, honestly, it was just a reminder and almost a pat on the back that what Brian and I are working to build for ourselves and our boys, because if you ever stop by our office, there's generally a teenager in there if it's after 3 o'clock. But showing them how to structure a business because they wouldn't otherwise get experience in that. Showing them work ethic, how to manage life in general, so that we can build a future for ourselves and for them. Our main goal in life is to build generational wealth for our kids, and their kids.
I kind of want to hear from everybody on this one, if that's okay.
It's always been a big deal to me. It's one of the reasons I left my first career to do something else was for legacy. And I always knew real estate was a good way to do it. But particularly one story that could maybe hit home is it inspired me to have a meeting with my parents. So I come from nothing, right? My parents have I think my mom has $20,000 in her retirement account. That's it. And I'm going to be supporting them, right? But anyways, they have a good amount of equity in their old country house, right? And I was, we're talking through life and some situations, I'm like, well, what are you gonna leave your grandkids? Don't think about me, I'm good. What are you gonna leave your grandkids? And we talked through it, we were very real, and I was like, are you happy with that? Are you proud with that? Obviously, they said no, they'd like to do more, so I structured a whole lunch and had a whiteboard, and we talked through things like, hey, here's your $120,000 of equity in your current house. I know you don't want to sell it today. I'm not even talking about that, but let's look in the future how we can use this equity to get you in your forever home that you're gonna live in till you die, in your words, and then maybe buy you 4 or 5 rentals. And then I will manage them for you, right? I've done it. I can help you. We'll do all that. And now you go from leaving $120,000 of home equity to your grandkids to leaving a portfolio, and you're getting passive income. That's probably the biggest story for me. And it came from Bold. I didn't think about doing that until Bold, and it inspired me to just have that hard conversation. So yeah,
That's
that was
awesome.
2 weeks ago on Thursday.
Super powerful. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Good for you. Good luck following that.
No, sorry.
Just kidding.
Sorry.
I don't really know what my legacy is gonna be yet. I'm far away from getting married or having kids.
But I think just starting out, being somebody new, a big thing for me was I wanted to be able to set myself apart from my peers. I wanted to be intentional with my youth and the time that I have now to establish something great so I can be done working when I'm 40. I don't want to wait until,
She called me old again.
I'm feeling that. Well, my dad's an ER doc. He's 57 and he's still working overnights, crazy hours, and he makes great money, but he's working his life away. And I look at people like that went to college and did, the thing that they thought they were supposed to do. I don't want that lifestyle of having to work that way for the rest of my life. So I think I wanted to be able to set myself apart from that and not follow the standard path of going to college for, another 4 years. And I was gonna go to med school. Thank God I didn't do that. But I don't know what my legacy is yet, but I know that I want to build something great now because I know I will have a family someday and I want to be an example for that.
That's awesome.
My legacy is revolving around, advocacy for others that might not have what I might have. And so doing that bold exercise where we went around and wrote things about that other person on the back of our pieces of paper, we wrote down what we thought of ourselves or our skills and characteristics. And then we went around and people that knew us would write on our backs, and coming back and looking at that and seeing, okay, all of these things that people described of me are things that align with what I want to build my legacy on. And I always, being back to that self-critic, is it was really, really moving to see what other people saw me, that I was hoping that people saw me, but I wasn't confident enough to write that down about myself.
Yeah,
That's good.
that is good.
It was an opportunity for me to talk to my husband about what do we want to look like? Are we aligned in what our future should be? Because, I've been single for most of my life. So I had an idea of where I was going, what I wanted to do. But then now there's this other person that I've got involved here, and are we moving in the same direction, and do we want the same things? And so there was a little bit of a shift in so maybe that needs to look a little bit different. There's a whole other side of my family now that needs to be included in that picture. There's not just the people that I've known, the people that I've wanted to support. Now there's this whole other side of the family that we need to take care of. And how do we mesh his dreams and my dreams to come up with a unified vision? And so that was really, really powerful. And I think we've got a good path forward. We kind of came up with an idea of what that should look like and how we can sort of do both of what we want to do to have a unified dream going forward. So that was nice.
These are fantastic.
So good.
These are this is one of my favorite things is, yes, with Bold, you get extra production because of the activities you do, but it really changes your trajectory, in my opinion. You're having tough conversations. You're proud of yourself. That's big. You're building it. You're looking outside of the family, right? You're figuring this out. That is what I think is just the neatest about it is you just start to change everything in your world, and it pushes you out of the comfort zone to really explore what that looks like. We're not just kind of walking through life ooh, I sell real estate, right? That's what I do, but not you guys. This is great. All right, so last question really is, your biggest takeaway. What are you gonna change? What are you gonna do different?
Bold was so much more than just about business. There was so much more about accountability, kind of self-discovery, understanding your goals, aligning your path with your mindset and all that sort of stuff. I think a huge thing that affects business that you don't really think about on a day-to-day basis is those personal things, your personal mindset, the way you treat yourself. I mean, your business is affected by how you feel in here. So I think it was really awesome to be surrounded by so many other agents that had the same, you know, success path as I did. They wanted to be successful in that sense. But to kind of have all of us kind of just be like, oh shit, we haven't really had, sorry, time to
Oh,
sit
gosh,
and
Ellie.
sit and think about ourselves. I mean, I know, like, for example, Mark, I work with him on a day-to-day basis. He is somebody that works extremely hard, 24 hours a day. He never stops working. So, I mean, and it was probably something good for both of us to sit back and just kind of think, what other than business do I need to be working on and focusing on right now? And how has your personal life affected your business too? So I think that was a really big aha for me, was just how much growth I had, you know, personally that would help my business in the long run too.
Absolutely.
Molly said something, sorry, Jesse, cut you off, didn't I? Molly said something that I think anybody in here can use. You know, 2023 is contacts need to be up, right? If you want to make the same money you made last year, you better be talking to more people than you did last year. I heard a quote that was, you either talk to 20% more people or you make 20% less income. You choose, right? So Molly said something that I thought was huge. And it's like, when you're focusing on lead gen and contacts, just focus on building relationships. If you're not talking to a person because you're scared to ask them about real estate, well, wish them happy birthday. And then maybe 3 calls later, do the real estate thing, but build relationships everywhere you go, right? And we all have Facebook. We can get on Facebook and see whose birthday it is. Send them a text, happy birthday, thinking about you. Or I saw your wife's pregnant, congratulations, man. Whatever, right? And I thought that was a great saying, that just don't focus on lead gen, focus on building relationships. So
Something that I was just talking to Jen Davis about, and I can't remember who she said this, but it's the database is the data bank. And you have to make at least 4 deposits before you can ever take a withdrawal. So that
Analogy.
yeah, that feels the same way because you're out building relationships. So you're like that 3rd call, maybe you say something else, right? You're building validity with them. I love that.
I'm very thankful that we did this as a team. We're a very small team and we, you know, go to all of these trainings and workshops and stuff. And it's really overwhelming because you almost feel like, oh, I want to put all these things into place to help our business succeed. But you kind of have to slim it down to that listing or leads, listings, and leverage that, and now our focus and energy is, if we have this bright idea, how does it fit into that model? And just I should say our horn, not Elisa's horn, is like, we went into Bold with like two pending units. We have 8 right now in close.
nice.
Yeah, so, it's super exciting. And Elise saw it up on the board yesterday and she goes, no wonder I'm tired.
You don't know sometimes.
Yeah, and she had made a comment because we use a transaction coordinator. She's like, we've gotten 962 emails from Lindsay. Like, I'll look for it later. I was like, well, it's because you have 8 leads or 8 pending right now.
That's huge.
That's awesome.
I will say one of the biggest things for me was that I have this whole untapped group of past clients in North Carolina that I've never entered to my personal side in Command. And what prompted me to start adding them was I didn't hit my 100 contacts one week, extenuating family circumstances. And so I had to get my redemption. So I had to enter 25 contacts. So I just pulled up my good old spreadsheet from 2016 with all of my past clients on it. And I just started entering them into that side with the intention of, I'm gonna build some smart plans because a lot of them are still military. A lot of them live all over the country and we tend to still have that gypsy soul in us when you've been a military family. And so using that side of my command to start marketing to those people for broker to broker referrals. Who doesn't like to make money that you didn't really have to do anything, but have a relationship with the customer you're referring? So that was one of my biggest takeaways.
That's big.
25%'s better than 0%, right?
Exactly. I feel like I got a really good idea of what I could do. You know, the idea that I was able to make 100 contacts in a day, do it more than once, not kill myself. And I thought, you know, for a long time, I've given myself that limiting belief that that's so many people. That's too many to talk to in a day. And it was so much more relaxed. So, you know, I've made plans going forward for how am I gonna talk to more people? How am I going to add those contacts in? And a lot of that was because of being in Bold and realizing that it's not that hard. It really is just a matter of doing it. And the things that I was giving myself reasons for why it wouldn't work in the past. Once I started doing it, I'm seeing the results from doing it. I have, you know, 4 new buyers that I'm working with. I have a couple of new listings that will be coming up hopefully in the next week or 2, depending on their situations, but we're working towards that. All these other people that I would have missed if I hadn't been intentional about those activities. And so that's a big thing that I've added in is why was I ignoring all these people in my life that I was talking to on a regular basis, that I just wasn't telling them who I was or what I was about?
Mhm. Awesome. Well, I just want to say thank you. Can we give them a round of applause? for coming here?
So everybody who went to Bold and those who have not been to Bold, the new Bold planner is available now in the KW Red Label store for $45.
That thing is
If you want to
fire.
continue the activities and track them, it's a great way to do it.
I love that. Thank you. Yes, sir.
You know, Sarah made a great point. There's everybody that says, I'm not gonna take Bold this year. Because I don't need it. I've taken it 3 years ago and I don't need to take it again. But the one thing that I always think about when taking Bold is there've been many times where I haven't felt like taking it, but I take it anyway, because if you walk away with one thing, like Sarah did, talking about the contacts.
Yeah.
I mean, all you need is one thing from Bold to make it worth the $800. And then the next time it comes around, take it again, because you will with guarantee pick up something from it and your business will grow to the extent that you do. So everyone that wants to make a professional income, if you're not investing in yourself on a daily basis or yearly basis, are you really worth it? Do you really want to make additional money? I mean, ask yourself that. And so that was beautiful that Sarah had made that point.
Yeah, no, I love hearing that from a repeat Bold offender. You're always a different person when you
Biggest
show up.
rap sheet,
Right.
Bold rap sheet in the
It's
house.
got, it's
yeah.
a long, it's a scroll. I didn't call you old, that was out of league.
Shut up.
All right, so thank you guys. We so
Yeah.
appreciate you. Did you guys learn something today?
Yeah.
Say yes. Make me feel good about myself. Thank you.
If we're talking legacy, shameless plug,
Yeah.
right? Grady Real Estate's doing an investment property seminar a week from Thursday. We already have,
I'm coming.
77 people
Not
signed up. Like,
shameless, listen to
it
this.
is not shameless, but there's gonna be 77 people there. Like, talk about networking, you know, finding your lender, finding your insurance person, finding the next deal. This room is gonna be packed. I want to do it somewhere else. I got talked into doing it here. But this room will be packed. I mean, we're pushing for 90 is the goal.
So October 19th,
6 p.m.
6 p.m.
Yeah.
down here. And
And we're not doing it to take anybody's clients. Trust me, like this is a give back. I'm doing a whole section just on taxes for agents. It'd be 10 minutes. I'll try to keep it easy to follow, but we want agents there and we want your clients to be there too, to learn so you get more deals, right? Yes.
Where do you sign up at?
Text me or send me a Facebook message. I'll send you the link.
It's not shameless, it's valuable.
It is
It's
valuable.
an investment in yourself. And yes, I totally believe it's valuable.
It's part of my legacy plan, so
It's
I'm
worth
gonna
what
be
you
there.
pay for it, that's for sure. It'll be
Yeah.
free. So.
Yeah, for sure. So I want you guys to think about what you learned from these guys today, or if you were in Bold, something that you took away, and I want you to put together your action items. What are you gonna do different today that's gonna change your business tomorrow? Mic drop, we're out. All right, have a good one, guys. Go take on the day. Next week, KW website, bring your laptop or tablet. We're gonna play along. Thank you.